Okay, so we got our animation going in. And now let's add some materials. So the first will be for the base. I'm just going to go in. This time I think I'm going to create a Fong just to make it shiny. And I'm going to make that Fong black. Grab these guys, right click, assign. So now it's on there. So we have our nice little shiny black Fong. And I also want to make my glow material just like this one. So I'm going to create a Lambert for that one because it doesn't need any real shine to it. And I'll just call that Lambert Blue Glow Matte for material. And I'm just going to go change the color. The ambient color. And the incandescence. Like so. So I have something like that. Okay. This is going to be the material that goes onto the border of this guy that we're going to create using mesh just to make it stick to it. Now I could, if I had more detail, just apply it, like add divisions and just assign it to the faces, but mesh does a really nice job of just sticking to stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my center of my world, create a polycube, hello, and this guy is going to be my glow material, or the base for the border that goes around the logo. So I'm going to assign the material to this guy. Then I'm going to go to my motion graphics tools. And I'm going to, actually before I do that, I want to show you something. I'm going to change this panel to, yeah, outliner. And the outliner is essentially everything that's in my scene. This is why it becomes a good thing, and I should, do as I say, not necessarily as I always do, but name your stuff. So like if I took this one and I want to name it, it says Polycube 10, and I just went in and just said, wow, you know what, I'm going to change this to glow mesh. And you see it just changes it all the way through there. And we see it in here, makes it a lot easier. So when I actually have this and I click to create a mesh network, we'll see it replicate. Once it's done, there we go. And the actual glow mesh is still there, but it's invisible. And that's going to be important to know for later. So here's the properties. And this is where, before I go too hard with that, I'm going to name these because it's going to make life a lot easier once again. And I'm going to go in, I'm going to call this one logo bar 1. Logo bar 2. And logo bar 3. And I can see them lined up. This is going to be important in a second, so I'm going to go back to my mesh. There they are there. And it's mesh 3 that I just created. Okay. So I'm going to take these and I'm going to stick it on one of these and then just repeat that for all of them. Okay, so mash 3 under distribute. Um, Oops, is that the one? Could be wrong. Mash 4. My bad. There it is. So under distribute, and that's it right here, linear, and you can see that if I increase it, decrease it, that changes the number of replications that are here. It was set to 10 originally. And there, I can switch how it's going to be attached. So I want to attach it to a mesh. And it's saying, well, please connect the mesh. And what I have to do is just go down here to where it says mesh, and it's asking me for that input mesh. That is going to be logo bar 1, 2, or 3. So I'm just going to middle mouse drag logo bar 1 and pull it right into input mesh. They disappear from here, and now they're on this little guy. And I'm just going to do a few things. It's saying scatter, and I don't want to scatter. I want it to go along the edges. And I want to flood those edges so they're on all of them. Okay. And here's the settings for edges. I'm going to enable scaling. Nice. And that's giving me more or less what I want, except for the fact I could scale it down, but then you'll notice that they aren't as long. So watch what I'm going to do. You remember that little hidden one, glow mesh? He's still invisible. Let me turn him on so you could see it. Right here it says visibility off. I'm going to turn it on temporarily just so you can see. They hide it so that you don't get confused. But if I take this little guy, go to scale, and I'm going to hold down Control and left mouse button, click on the Y-axis of the scale, I can scale its width down, which will scale the width here. See? Now I've got a perfect fit. I like that. Sweet. Okay. Nice. Now, if I take a look at this and render it with a software render, this is what we get. Looks nice, but it's not like super bright or anything. And that is because if I go to that material and double click it and open it in the attribute editor, there's an option for intensity. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide let me do something. Oops. Jinkies, one more time. If they don't pop up in these menus, it means they're floating somewhere. If you close them and then go to Hypershade Render Perspective, then they'll pop back into place. So what you can see here is it's not glowing because I haven't applied a glow intensity right here. And once I do it, now we have a glow. You don't want to crank it up too high because then you get this. And on top of that, there's something else you should know. This is actually a lot more fine-tuned than it was previously. That's because I already did it in the scene, and that is because of the glow shader. So the glow shader is the universal glow controls for the scene. So I had toned down the glow spread from its default and the halo spread to make it tighter. If it were wider like it was initially, you get this, and it gets way overpowering. So I have it like super low at a 0.02, which gives me a nice effect, because if this is going to be affected by lights you have in your scene. And if it's set to auto exposure so that if multiple lights hit it, this glow is going to intensify. So if you want to just override that, you can turn it off. It is going to explode. If I turn this off and then hit it, it gets super bright, and then I really got to go in and adjust and tighten stuff up. But if you know you don't have that many lights in your scene, they're not going to be going back and forth across it, and you're going to do a software render, then you can do this. And then just fine tune the glow and the halo around it. The glow itself, and then the halo is that effect afterwards. And then I just have to rinse and repeat. Basically, I have to do that same thing to these guys. But the cool part is that if I go back and I want to actually now apply that mesh to these other shapes, there's a very easy way of doing this. And what I can do is literally go and just say, remember we had that stuff laid out way over here, and it's in the outliner, right? So all I have to do is find it. Where are you? It's funny, it makes it a lot easier when it's hidden. Oh, there you are. Bink. So that's it there. And I actually don't even need that visible anymore. But I can now make a new mesh. So if I go in and let's make a brand new mesh from it. And on mesh 5, we go once again to the, oops, I didn't want to change your name. I want to open you up in the attribute editor. Under distribute, once again, mesh. In this case, remember, we had named these guys. So this will be logo bar 2. Edge, flood, enable scaling. Bam. And that's all you got to do. And then we just do it one more time. Select that one, because why have to, why recreate everything if you got everything you need? That glow mesh that's invisible. Create a mesh. We want it to be mesh. And this one's going to be logo bar 3. Middle mouse drag. Set to edge, flood, enable scaling. Excellent. And then the last thing would just be rendering out the render sequence. I know there was more to the logo. I'm going to do more with this, but just for some of the other stuff I saw people doing. I don't want to do the whole thing, but just showing you how you can actually do that. And just repeat. A lot of the times you're just repeating the things that you're doing before. So if I actually have that, I'm going to stop this video, and then I'm going to do one just to show you how to render the image sequence out of this. The same way we did the hardware render, just we're going to use a software render for it, and there's just a couple of things different for it.